Hey up everyone, I'm back again. So as you can see, I've got two nice Androids in front of me. Today it's the Galaxy S4 Mini and the HTC One M7, which as you know is a flagship from yesteryear, which still feels quite nice even today. It's got that nice metallic kind of build to it, and still rocking that quad-core Snapdragon 600, whereas you got the Galaxy S5 Mini, which comes with the Exynos processor, which is quad-core, clocked at 1.2 GHz of the 3000 series, and it's about the same as a Snapdragon 400. And the build quality isn't quite as premium, but it does feel quite comfortable in the hand. I'd say more comfortable than the HTC One, but definitely not as premium. And obviously you do also get that kind of weird back, which is removable, which allows you to swap out the battery and the storage as well, but you don't get that with the HTC One M7. The reason why I'm comparing these two is because they're about the same price now. You can get the S5 Mini for about 300, and as well as the HTC One, which will set you back about 300 now, because it's obviously been superseded with the M8. But you know, I think they both have their pros and cons when you consider them. I think right off the bat you can see that the HTC One has its speakers on the front, which is a very nice design decision, and you know, it really allows you to make the most of the device when you're out and about, and you can't bother to put headphones in, whereas you don't get that with the Samsung. It's just little speaker on the back, which isn't too bad actually in my testing. You know, it's quite decent. We'll do a YouTube clip in a bit just to see how they compare. Unfortunately you don't get the micro SD expandability though on the M7. You do get it on the M8, the new version, but not on the M7. But you do get a healthy amount of storage, which is 32 gigs, which isn't too bad for most people. You only get 16 gigs with the S5 Mini, but you can top it up with micro SD up to 128 gig. So I think the S5 Mini is a bit better in that aspect. In terms of the screens, you know, the AMOLED screen on the Samsung is a bit newer, so I think that it's a little bit brighter. They're both on max brightness at the moment. If I can show you. You can see that they are, well, you can't see on the Samsung. Yeah, you can see that it's basically they're both on full brightness, but I think the screen on the S5 Mini is a little bit brighter. You know, it's not too visible, but this is in quite a sunny area that I'm in, and you can definitely see, you can make out the icons a little bit better, and the viewing angles are slightly more better as well on the S5 Mini. You can see that it's kind of holding the colours at some extreme angles a little bit better, but I think the colour accuracy is still better on the HTC One. HTC One still has an amazing SLCD3 screen with IPS technology, so you know, very nice in terms of the colour accuracy, whereas if you like your displays a bit more cartoonish, you know, I'm a big fan of AMOLED displays myself because they're quite lively, then you will like the kind of screen on the S5 Mini. But I can't really criticise both of them for the screen. They're both very nice devices. When it comes to the screen real estate, both could do a little bit better in regards to the bezel sizes though. As you can see, they're quite big on both devices, about the same I'd say. I'm not really a fan of the key arrangement, I've got to admit, on the HTC One M7. You know, I prefer a more standard Android layout. it does feel funny going back to HTC One using these buttons. I do like the way they've put it on the screen on the M8. With the Samsung, again, I think it's a little bit easier to operate than the M7. But I'd still like if Samsung did start to put the buttons on the screen, because it is, the way Android's going. In terms of the cameras, you got your ultra pixel camera on the HTC One M7, and that's 4 megapixel. And you've got a standard 8 megapixel shooter on the S5 Mini. I think that the HTC One camera gets a lot of flack when it shouldn't do, really. It's still, in my opinion, a very competent camera for where it matters. Like, if you're in a bar or something, or indoors, you can get some very nice shots in low light, which you won't be able to get with some other handsets which don't have that ability. Focusing is still, very quick. I do love those HTC One sounds when you're focusing and taking the shot. It's like a little snipping kind of sound, and obviously you do get the ability to customize a shot, the ISO, etc. So HTC does give you that. You can put on ZOAs as well, which I'm not really too fussed about, but camera experience on the HTC One is still excellent, but not the best, obviously. With the S5 Mini, you're getting a cut down version of the 60 megapixel ISO cell on the S5, which is a very nice camera in good daylight, but struggles a bit when it comes to the low light. I've noticed that the low light performance on this seems to have improved a little bit. I don't know whether they've messed with the ISO settings or something, but it seems to take a little bit more clearer pictures in low light. But aside from that, the focusing and taking the shot is all very competent, and you do get quite a lot of options to set as well, if that's your thing. As you can see, all sorts of effects that you can set to fine tune the image. Films in full HD as well, so no 4K unfortunately, but that should be enough for most people. So in terms of the cameras, I'd say they're about comparable, really. I wouldn't put one above the other particularly. They're both competent, but by no means the best. And I think they're probably both a little bit better than Nexus 5s, if I was to compare to a different device, but don't quote me on that. In terms of the speaker, we can have a quick test of that, see how both of them sound. First with the S5 Mini. Let's get some Relento. So, no contest there. We all knew who was going to be the winner anyway. HTC One just blows the S5 Mini out of the water. So no issues there. In terms of the inner ear quality, I'd probably give it to the One, just about. But they're both quite good inner ear. I'm not going to criticise the S5 Mini too much. In terms of the actual performance, so that's I think where the S5 Mini falls down a little bit. I don't know whether it's the software is quite young because it's quite a new device, but basically I've just found it to be temperamental when you really hammer in it. Now and again it kind of lags should I say, kind of like the Galaxy Tab S, which in itself lags as well, and it's an octa-core processor. It's not too bad, it's not going to annoy many people, but to me it annoys me because we're in 2014 and I think Samsung should have learned that Android needs to be fast and fluid. Now we've got the hardware and there shouldn't be any lag whatsoever. It's not quite as fast as some of the stock devices like Nexus 5. You can manage to slow it down in some places, but in general, going into things, it's just ultimately very nice experience. We can do a quick quadrant comparison just to see how both of them perform. Where's a quadrant gone? Can never find it when I need it. There we go. So it's these two. So right away the M7 is really pulling ahead. I think. Yes, it is pulling ahead. This is a Snapdragon 600, I guess, versus a Exynos 3 Summit. And the one also has 2 gigs of RAM as opposed to 1.5 gigs of RAM on the S5 Mini. So as you can see, the S5 Mini comes in at 8,660 compared to the 12,336 on the HTC One. So that was to be expected, I guess. Let's do a quick GPS test. Both set to high accuracy. Have a look to see which one gets the GPS quicker. So accuracy looks better on the HTC One, which is within 13 feet accuracy compared to the 26 feet on the Galaxy S5 Mini. It looks like they both are leveling off now. Similar type of accuracy. The one still has more in view. But then again, the S5 Mini's gone all over the place again in terms of accuracy. So I think the one wins there. It looks like it's more accurate on the GPS module. Maybe Samsung's cutting back there. We can have a look at the speed test. Both of them connected to my Wi-Fi. Now where's a bloody speed test? Have I installed it? I don't know if I have. Just a second. We'll get there. And we're there. Okay, so let's go. Oh dear, S5 Mini didn't even participate in it. Try that again, probably just a one-off. Three, two, one. You'll notice that it seems that the Wi-Fi signal on the one seems to be a lot stronger than the S5 Mini, and I'm at the same distance away from my crappy Wi-Fi, so not sure what's going on there. Maybe an issue with the S5 Mini in terms of the Wi-Fi. I'll have a look out for that, but I think the HTC One resoundingly wins there with no issues. Let's try boot up and boot down test. Wish I had more than one hand. You see, you need to press it twice on the Samsung. But it was about the same, I'd say, give or take. Let's press both of them at the same time. HTC One, I'm up and operational. I'm still waiting. And there we go. So I think that the One kind of won that again. What does that say? So yeah, a little bit of an advantage there. In terms of battery life, I think they'll both easily last you a day. I've not had any issues with battery life on both of them. Even the HTC One, it's coming on to a year and a half old, still, easily lasts me a day. And I think we started off the video at about 100%. And the screen is on full brightness. I've been doing stuff on it, so not really any issues there on the HTC One. In terms of the S5 Mini, again, should be decent for most people. It does have better power saving modes than the HTC One, such as your ultra power saving mode, which completely, turns everything off, which is quite nice. But I think the removable battery, as well as those power saving features, probably make the S5 Mini a little bit of a stayer compared to the HTC One. So if you're a road warrior, then you may appreciate that. But I think that in terms of everything else, if you've got 300 quid, you'd be mad to not buy a HTC One compared to, for example, Galaxy S5 Mini. I think that the HTC One and a number of other phones offer you far more in terms of performance as well as in terms of style. HTC One is still a beautiful phone, and saying you can get it for 300 quid now, it's absolute steal. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please subscribe or rate it, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.